Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Your Where With Who. I'm Kate, joined as always by Usman. We're joined by the two cousins today, Jakey and Jared Krumm. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having us.
We're great. We're starting with a couple technical difficulties, but it's okay. We're going to push through on this Monday. So, I guess a good place to get started in reading a little bit about you guys. You started songwriting in the basement.
Yeah.
Made it from the basement to Billboard. I love that. I saw that one of the lines in one of the articles I was reading about you guys. Tell me a little bit, like, take us back to that place of when that started.
Um, yeah, it started in like the basement of my house, and it's funny, like before like me and Jared started working together, we didn't like hate each other, but like we were like not close at all. Like
We didn't hate
we
each other.
like yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Hey, that's
So
real love though.
what inspired you guys to work together if you weren't close at that point?
I don't know. I think literally just one day, like we both kind of did like music stuff on the side, and I think I just like texted Jared and I was like, "Yo, like let's like make some music." And I just like came. I remember coming to his house. Like my dad dropped me off at his house, and I like woke him up. Like he was like sleeping. I was like, "Yo, like let's make a song," and we just made a song, and it was fire.
Okay. Okay, very cool. So you guys were, oh no, we're losing him. We lost one
Yeah.
of our cousins.
All right. Cool.
So for those listening, Jared had some technical difficulties, like everyone today. So he dropped from the call, but I'm sure he's going to be joining shortly. Oh,
He's
as you
coming
see,
back.
he's coming
Literally
back
crashed as soon
online
as he
now.
finished asking the question. I was like, shit.
He's
It's all
back.
good.
No
But yeah,
worries.
we literally worked together like that one morning, and that was kind of like it. Like after that, we never stopped working together, and like we got extremely close. Like people who know me and Jake in like person, like they just know that me and Jake have like a weird like little like telekinesis thing going on where like me and Jake just understand each other super well when it comes to like everything from like music to like humor, like everything. So it's like once we really started like locking in together and like working consistently, we got like really close because of it.
Then, so how did you guys both, I guess, individually get into music itself? Because it sounded like you guys eventually were doing your own things for a while, and then kind of like, hey, we're both in music, why not just work together? But how'd you guys start originally
Yeah.
in
So
music?
we do a little bit of both, like each of us, but I'm kind of more of like the producer, engineer, stuff like that, and Jared does like more of the songwriting.
Mm.
So we kind of just like we're like, yo, like I make good beats, you write good songs, so we kind of just like came together like that, and like we just worked really well together because we both like filled in the spots that like
Yeah,
You
we
both
like
like
need it.
I
yeah
had started
exactly.
music
So,
like trying to actually like record and write music at like 13 or 14. And Jake's 5 years younger, so at the time, like he wasn't really doing it yet. And then I did it through high school, and like I got a sense for what I wanted to do, kind of. But like I never really cared much to like get good at like the production, or I hated recording myself. I just wanted to write songs and record them. And it's just weird how it worked out because like when I was around like I guess my senior year of high school, like I think Jake randomly like started getting into like producing and like making raps and stuff, and like in the basement, completely on his own. And then like it's just weird how like Jake got really good at the hands-on like production side, and by the time like we started working together, like it just kind of like lined up perfectly, you know.
Mhm. So I saw in the one article that I was reading, I think it was like the Bucks County Herald or something like that, that did a write
yeah.
up on you guys.
Yeah.
Love that. We'll definitely touch on some of that stuff because it was super interesting. But you guys started, you wanted to be like a pop
Yeah, so
duo,
we
correct?
signed
Yeah.
we
Tell us
signed
about
our
that.
first management deal um with somebody who goes by the name of Woe. He has a company called Team Exclusive. Actually, it's Philly based. So we signed to him, and it was two of us. And by then, we were both like separate pop artists making pop music. And he was like, "Well, you know, like it would make the most sense for me to put you guys together because it's either that or like we're gonna have to really like separate you guys and you're gonna be competing against each other pretty much. So it's like you guys both already work together and know how to work well together. It's like it makes the most sense to put you guys together. So we spent like our entire first like year and some change signed to him as a duo, and then we ended up signing our first like big deal with Sony, but not as artists. We signed a publishing deal, which is a deal for writers and producers. So we signed that, and then from there we kind of each ventured out on our own thing as artists because we never had, I guess we never had the intention of being a duo on the artist side, but it made sense business
Mhm.
wise at the time. But once we kind of solidified our foot in the door with Sony, we had more freedom to kind of like you know do what we wanted on the artist side. No one ever like
Mhm.
tied us down to do anything on that, and then we were able to do what we're signed together as, regardless of what we did as artists. So it just worked out that way.
Okay, interesting. And was the like what started you with pop music? I guess is that just like what you guys predominantly listen to, what you're most interested in music wise, or?
Yeah, I would say like we both like listen to like a little bit of everything, but
Mm,
like I've always been inspired and like Jared as well, just by like Bieber and like just these like big like pop people because like they like we like to make like hit songs. Like we don't just want to make like like we want to make like big pop records. But I like grew up and like actually started like making rap music and like I grew up listening to like even like old school stuff like Run
mhm.
DMC and like
Yeah.
Mm.
all that shit because my dad would play that, but I kind of just like slowly like got into like pop stuff and like more melodic
Yeah,
stuff.
for me it was similar,
Okay.
but like I used to write raps all the time, and I wanted to be a rapper at first, but I quickly learned that I just didn't sound right trying to rap.
So, uh, Jake, do you now write songs for yourself?
Yeah, yeah. So we kind of do like a little bit of both. Like I write and produce, Jared produces and writes, but yeah, I do stuff for myself. So we're both doing like our separate artist projects right now, and like still like consistently like releasing songs like once a month. And then like I do the production for his stuff, and then he helps with the writing with my stuff. So we're both like still like hands on with each other's like artist
Yeah.
stuff, which is sick. And then we come together on the publishing to write for like other people and stuff.
Would you guys ever produce a co-album? Is
Like,
that
You
ever
mean
talked
us
about?
together?
Like,
what do you mean?
you two together, one album.
We have probably
I'm not
like
sure that was ever been discussed, or
I'd say 60, 70 songs as a duo, like just in the talk that like we just made over.
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Looking back, or stuff we can pitch for other artists and stuff. But at least right now, just like we make like polar opposite music. Like Jake's very like upbeat, like fun pop stuff, and I'm like, I'm just like depressing sad boy.
Depressing, sad.
It's like
Depressing sad boy music.
I do think though, like in the future, like there
yeah,
will be something like that, like for sure. Like I definitely see that that's like us coming together for like some artist shit together.
yeah, 100%. And it's at least right
That'd be
now
dope.
too. It's like we're already working together on everything we do, regardless whether it's like Jake is the artist or me as the artist or something we're pitching for another artist. It's just like we already work on everything together. So it's like we're not like like missing out on what each other is doing. We're just it's not like what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that makes
I guess
sense.
you kind of feed
The
into each other's artistry in like in a different
Yeah.
way and fill in the blanks
Yeah,
for one another.
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
So, walk us through how different your processes are. How do you guys approach the music making process?
That's it's. Go ahead, you go. Then I'll go.
I mean, like if anything, like me and Jake had to go into the industry and adapt to how others work because me and Jake already formed our chemistry so tight and our like method to making stuff so early on that we had to adjust to like how other people work. I mean, we pretty much just we hear like so
Hmm.
for non-music people that are going to be watching this, like there's something called a loop or a melody, which is pretty much like a 4 bar, like just it could be guitar, piano, a bass, something, whatever, and we just listen to that, and then we usually get inspired and come up with melodies, and then we'll lay a beat to it, and then once we have good melodies that we like, we'll put lyrics to it. Um, we kind of have both adapted like different hybrids of doing it depending on who we're working with.
It is interesting though, like me being more of a producer and him being more of a writer. Like I was just talking to my buddy about this. Like say like we hear a song, like I'm like my ears just like naturally are like more focused, like listening to like the beat. Where like if you would play a song for Jared, like he's so focused on the lyrics. So I feel like it's cool. Like we do like fill in those spaces when we are like making a song from scratch. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like hard
Yeah.
to
Like
explain, but
there's definitely a lot of times where
like
I'm like overthinking something, and Jake's like, "Bro, like I promise you, like it's not that deep.
I'm
Just
like
say
nah,
whatever. Like it's not, I mean, like not whatever, but like
Yeah.
don't
yeah.
dwell on that little part so much. It's not as important as you think it is. Like
Because I really do like I take a lot of inspiration from like Benny Blanco and stuff, like how he kind of goes about like writing his songs and stuff. And he made a comment like when you're spending so much time on like what snare to use, right? It's like I know what a snare is because I make music, but like my mom isn't gonna be like, oh, the snare is too loud. Like she's just gonna be like, oh, it's the beat. Like an
Yeah.
average listener like doesn't really like understand like all the fundamentals of like what goes into it. So when I do make music, I try to like listen to it just from like an average listener's perspective. Like how would someone who doesn't know like what all goes into this, like how would they listen to it? You know, like
Yeah.
just simplify it. You know, stuff like that.
I guess it's easy to get into that place too if you're like too deep in the weeds of it, of like you'll never finish the track. If you're
Yeah,
just constantly going back to keep making changes, do you ever find that happening to you?
yeah, I definitely find that happening to me a lot. Sometimes I just have to step away from it because I'll be like working on something for like 4 hours and I'm like, it's
Yeah.
like the smallest thing that like no one's gonna hear, like, you know? And then
Yeah.
I kind of just
Yeah.
take a step back and come back to it and I'm just like, why did I just spend 4 hours lowering this kick when no one's gonna notice it? You know what I mean?
And when you walk back up to it, you're like, oh, wait, this was in front of me the whole time.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
like, what? You know, I'll just get so in my head about stuff. So more recently, I've been trying to like better myself and just be like, take it easy, don't stress myself over it, and just just be chill with it. You know?
absolutely. Do you think that that's a hard thing to do in this industry?
Oh yeah, because it's very judgmental. Like even me, just like a lot of my insecurities. Like when I'm like like making a song, like I'll be like, oh, like what is this person gonna think of it, or like how would they hear this? But I just kind of just like I don't know. I do get in my head a lot about things, but I'm trying to just be more like laid back and just go with the vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we losing Jared again?
we're back, we're back. I'm sorry, I knew my laptop was gonna crash out. I rejoined on my phone,
He's back.
No problem.
but yeah, I mean, but luckily somehow it still kept running, so I was able to hear what you guys were talking about, and like yeah, like what Jake was saying about like the Benny Blanco stuff, like overthinking. Can you guys still hear me? It says reconnecting.
No, we can hear you. If you want to
We
turn
can,
it to
Oh, you
landscape.
can't see me. What is? Oh, what is? I might have to borrow my roommate's laptop.
No,
I'm
we can
sorry.
see you.
What's going on with this?
We can see
we
you. We can
had
see
you.
you.
Oh no.
He's spinning.
It's
Jared,
crashing.
Jared's uncle with the technology right now.
I'm still rocking the 2015. Yo, Huli, I might have to. Are you using
Not
your
the
laptop right now?
2015.
I am, but you can use it.
Oh, wait, wait, oh, can you guys see me now?
He's
Yeah.
back.
We've
Okay,
been
okay,
in
no, you're good.
the whole time.
Sorry. I hope you guys can edit that like later on. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. If you
It's
want
all
to turn your
good. Well,
phone to landscape, you'd be all set.
How's that? Is that good?
Did it adjust? No.
Hold on, give me a second.
I was.
Okay, still didn't work.
It's
So turn my
fine.
phone sideways? I'm confused.
No, you're good. You're good.
Are you sure that I'm not gonna mess it up or anything?
Nah, I don't think so. It should be
Okay.
fine. We'll edit it.
We're all good.
Okay, so you guys can see me. Everything's good now.
Yes.
You
You're
look
back.
great. You look really handsome, bro. You look great.
Thanks, dude. But yeah, like what Jake was saying about like the Benny Blanco stuff, like overthinking is definitely a super real thing. Sometimes you do have to wrestle with songs to get them to come out a certain way. Like you do need to spend time on them. But I mean, a lot of the good ideas that we come up with, a lot of them are quick, and it's like sometimes if we spend too long and overthink, it's when the song kind of starts to get like worse. a little bit if you really nitpick too much. But you
Yeah.
know, sometimes you wrestle, but it's important like to know when something is worth like really like locking in and spending a lot of time on, or whether like we're tripping and we need just
Yeah.
to wrap it up and keep
Yeah.
going.
Sometimes just simple is better. I've been listening to a lot of like just hit songs, like a lot of like the Katy Perry songs and like her early stuff. I like Benny did, and like we know it word for word just because like we know it, you know, like it's just
Mhm.
a hit song. But like if you really like dive in and listen to it, it's like she's saying the most simple things that like anyone could think of, you know, like if you really like listen. Last Friday night, like it's so simple.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like overthink stuff. Like so,
That was a
yeah,
banger. I
It
forgot that
was.
that song
such a
existed.
banger. And if you really like dive in, like if you were to just look at the lyrics and like not listen to the song and read it out, it's like anyone could think of this.
Yeah,
So it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like simplicity is key. Like uh, a baby could sing it, a grandmom could sing it, my dad could sing it. It's like so simple.
Yeah.
I think that's the key for songs that do go viral, and they're easy to understand the lyrics and actually sing the lyrics. So
Mhm.
I forget the song. There's one song that is known globally, and everyone sings it in English. ABC.
no,
ABC, the
no,
ABC
no, no, not
song.
that song. Like the K-pop song
Yeah,
with Bruno Mars. Are we talking about
yeah,
that song?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're actually signed to the guy that wrote that song. So like he's someone that preaches simplicity a lot too. But like literally like it's one of the most simplest hooks, but it's literally like global right now.
Global. And that's the beauty about it, is that if you can make a song like that, everyone's
Hmm.
gonna listen to it, everyone's gonna enjoy it, and it will be like international and overnight. And you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wrote that song in like 5 minutes. And
Yeah. It's literally the songs that come out the quickest that like they just go, you know?
Mhm.
yeah. So have you guys started going on tour, playing in different cities? So how has that experience been like being able to play in front of like a live audience?
Yeah, so I've never been on a tour yet. I'm actually gonna do one soon. I'm actually at the dude's house who I'm going on tour with. He's fire. Maybe he'll pop in here in a second and say what's up. But yeah, I've never done like a tour, but I've done like shows. Like I have like a big like college audience, so like a lot of like college kids and stuff like that. So I'll get brought out by like a couple of my DJ buddies who do like big shows. Like I did one at what was the college called? It was in upstate New York, Syracuse University.
Mhm.
I did a show there and it was lit. I love performing. I've been dancing. Like I used to do like competitive dancing for like 6 years. So
Oh,
like
cool.
I'm like super. I know it's like weird,
I
but
did not expect
yeah, dude, I did like hip hop dancing and shit. But I I've always been comfortable with like performing in front of like audiences and stuff. So I just go out there and just have a good time. But yeah, I love performing. I've always been like a performer, like since I was young and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for the tour though. It's gonna be lit. I've never done anything like that before.
What can you
we're
tell us about it?
Yeah, so I think it's coming up in the next couple months. I have to ask AMAG, but I'm gonna be opening for him. He's a dope artist. Um, he does like pop, country, rap shit, but yeah, he's gonna take me with him, and he's one of my homies. It's crazy. I'm literally working with him now. Like right before you called, like we got the setup in the back right now, and I was literally like we were just recording like right before I joined the call, which is crazy. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be coming up soon. I'll announce it on like my Instagram and shit
Yeah.
like that. But definitely in the next couple months, it's gonna happen.
There must be like a big difference between like being out on stage performing your own stuff versus like being in the studio doing the production side of things. Do you like one over the other or you like both?
Honestly, I think both play hand in hand. You know, like I would say like a lot of my publishing stuff like helped me with my artist stuff, and a lot of my artist stuff helps me with my publishing because I could be working with an artist like writing a song for him or her, and we build a connection. I'm like, hey, you want to hop on my song? Like I do my own
Yeah.
music too, or do I want to get on their song? So I think it all plays hand in hand. And I like both, uh,
Mm.
just the same. Same thing with the artist I'm working with here. I help him with his music, and he's like, yo, do you want to like open up for me on my tour? You know, so
Yeah.
it's just like I think it all plays hand in hand. But I definitely see myself just doing both. Like Ed Sheeran is a good example. Charlie Puth, like they all have their Taylor Swift. They all have their artist projects, and they are still writing for other people and stuff.
I definitely think a big thing people don't realize, like from an outside eye too, is that it takes time to really get the artist thing rolling to the point where you can successfully do tour, and for it to make sense. It's one thing to sign a publishing deal and get in the studio as a writer and a producer, and get these bigger songs for artists that people know and see like tour a lot and stuff like that. And that's a process in itself, but it's not as long of a process as the art thing is, because you got to think when you're doing a tour, there's money and stuff involved, and you need to put people in seats. So it's like it's more of a gradual process, and I think that's something that people don't see. Like when you're going on tour, it's something that people don't see as much. But we've definitely been more on the behind the scenes side, and at least for Jake, because I just started my artist project. I stopped for a while, so Jake's a lot further ahead. So Jake is starting to see, like the show opportunities and stuff like that, which I mean, a lot of it does stem from, building relationships and all that on the behind the scenes, but it's a very gradual process that, it takes time, but I mean, when you get there, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of like brain power, like waking up every morning and being like, especially the age we live in now, like I have to wake up and be like, okay, I have to post a video on TikTok, a video on Reels, a video on YouTube Shorts. Like it sucks, and like I love it. I love like filming content and stuff, but like it's just crazy. Like we live in an era now where like that's like you have to do that, and it's like crazy. It's crazy to think about that. Like Michael Jackson didn't have to wake up and post a TikTok every morning, like he was just like famous with no social media. It's crazy.
He wasn't. I don't think Elvis was. I don't think that was a thing for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
We've definitely like had this conversation with so many artists on the show, and I feel like it's kind of a common pain point of like I want to do my craft. Like I want to focus on producing or singing, songwriting, but I kind of have to do the social side of things too. Otherwise, it's just like not getting out there.
Yeah, it's crazy, and a lot of like it does have its downsides, but like I really do like I do enjoy it, and I feel like a lot of people don't. Like I feel like you do get to be creative and like come up with new ways to like promote your stuff, and like it definitely takes like creativity to like to do that, and it gives me something to do in the morning. Like okay, like I have to do this. It's really just like I have to set goals for myself, to like make sure I post a video every single day, every day. Don't miss a day. Which is cool. And it's like same thing goes for like writing songs. Like write a song every day, even if it's just like a hook or
you have to make a bunch of shitty music to start getting good. If I look back to songs that I wrote in like 2014, 2015 to now, it's like there's a huge like drastic improvement, but like people don't see how many bad, terrible songs you have to let go of and get through before you get to the good stuff. Because I mean, even now, I mean, we're at a point now where everything we make is at least like decent, but like not every song is worth putting out. And it's like people people just see what comes out and like, damn, these guys are fire, but it's years and years and years of getting through all like the shitty music and like just getting all that out of your system and learning what works and what doesn't. It just like repetition. Like you just gotta do it as much as possible. Like there's no like shortcut or like secrets to getting there. It's just repetition. It's the same thing with going to the gym. Hey, Mag just walked in.
Not to cut it. This is who I was talking about. I'm doing the tour with. This is Amag.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Special guest, what's up?
Took over my room.
Andrew Magnet.
I'm eating Subway in the backyard. He took over my room, but
I love that. That's a vibe.
He's a dope artist though. Like I said, we were literally just recording like literally right before I joined the call. But I'm actually in Maryland right now. I drove up to Maryland and we're just cooking up at his house.
Nice. I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tim, I feel like we're there. We're part of the process.
Yeah.
You guys are eating Subway with Andrew Magnet.
Yeah.
It's both an honor and a privilege. Oh my God. Cheetos.
These are protein
incredible.
Chips.
Protein chips.
Oh, okay. It looked like Cheetos.
We're getting
my bad.
Walking.
We're strong. Okay.
That's the label to write this off because these are expensive.
Yeah, but
Real quick, this is the last time I'm gonna move. I need to grab a phone charger. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I'm so
okay.
unprepared.
You're so good. No worries.
All right, once I plug this in, I should be golden for the rest of the episode. I promise.
You're so fine. I'm like,
All
I
right.
don't think my phone's gonna die, but who's to say?
Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge when we
Thought
get
I
there.
would be good with the laptop, but that wasn't the case. All right, plugged in. Let
That's
me
fine.
turn
We're
this.
back.
Let's go.
We're
Is this good like this, or is this messed up looking?
You're like sideways for us,
you are sideways.
All right, hold on.
dude.
Oh my god, hold on. Why is this on now? All right, let me mute this. All right, give me two.
Oh my god, dude. This dude is unk with this shit.
I kind of
man.
love it.
I love
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is. We should
It's
just
adding
keep all of
some
this.
No,
pizzazz.
this isn't the first time. I think we had someone in an episode like get up in the middle of recording, go to the bathroom, and we just kept it going, kept the
Yeah.
conversation going, and they came
Yeah,
back
we
and
were like,
joined
it's
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to go to the bathroom, so we're good with that part. But
Give it like 15 minutes, and you're gonna be like, damn, I actually do go.
I hope not. I've already caused enough ruckus in here.
You're
It's all
all
good.
good.
But how do you guys deal with the pressure of obtaining like numbers? I feel like now in order to get signed by a label, they want to know how many followers you have, how many streams you have, what artists you're currently working with, and so on. They kind of look at metrics rather than the actual talent of the artist before
Yeah.
signing. How you guys, I guess, handle that pressure of knowing that, oh, we need
So
to hit these metrics, but also stay true to your creative work and making sure you're not deviating from what you want to do.
So we were extremely lucky with how we came into the industry, as far as like the manager we signed to in Philly. He heard our music and was like, "This is undeniable. I see a vision with you guys," and he signed us. And then our Sony deal, we were lucky. We didn't have anything yet. We had no songs out that were big, or we had no big placements for them to collect money. They just saw, two young guys that were good at what they did, and they decided to, take a gamble on us. So we got in to the deals we got into now, like pretty much off talent, but we saw later on how the number game worked, and eventually that was like a rude awakening we had, as far as these companies. I mean, I don't want to talk down or anything, but companies, they pay more attention when they see numbers involved. So we, like I said, we got in based off talent, and then we quickly saw like the numbers game was a thing. It definitely sucks. I mean, you spend so many hours and hours and hours in the studio making good music, and it's like a lot of it doesn't see the light of day, and it's so. And then when you do get something to come out and it doesn't perform how you want it to perform, it's like it definitely hurts. But I mean, the most important piece of advice in this thing, and especially that I can give, and we're not super far in yet, but you can't let that stuff get to your head, because if you let that stuff discourage you, especially early on, it's like there's so many layers to this stuff that, like, if you let that stuff discourage you, it's like you might as well pack up and go home. I mean, it's harsh, but it's like it's a thing you have to deal with, and it sucks for everyone at all levels. But unfortunately, it is a very numbers driven game. But you can't let that stuff affect you. And if something doesn't perform how you thought it would, something else will. It's not always going to be the song you think it is that does well. But it's just important that through all the numbers, you just stay consistent and you keep doing what you do, because eventually you will get to where you're going. And numbers are also feedback too. If something didn't perform as well as you thought it was, the song could have been great to you, but maybe that's something where you step back and look and say, okay, well, why didn't it resonate? I did the marketing, why didn't it go? Sometimes it's as simple as the song just didn't resonate with people. Maybe it wasn't a very marketable song, and you thought it was better than it was because it's true to you, or but it just you just got to keep moving past that stuff. Take what you can from it. Try and take the low numbers as constructive. You know, feedback, and just keep pushing through it. Because I mean, if you stop, let the numbers get to your head, it's like
consistency is key. Don't stop. Just keep doing it.
It feels like every single day to like wake up, do socials, make music in some capacity is like that's a heavy task. I don't even know how you manage
Yeah.
time.
I have horrible time management.
Bad time management skills. Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not even trying to be rude or shade to you guys, but I forgot about the podcast until like recently, and I was like, shit, like, 'cause I like suck with like my calendar and stuff like that, because it is a lot. Like, it's a lot to like to deal with and stuff, and I gotta get better with time management for sure. But yeah, it's definitely like stressful. But at the end of the day, it's like we both like love what we do, so as much as work as it is, like it doesn't really feel like that when we're like in it and like in the moment and like doing what we love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something I always preach, like, to everyone that, like, I mean, even like people that are coming up and just ask, like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, you have to love this shit, because if you don't love it, you're not gonna like you're not gonna want to keep going, because like I said, like, there's so much bullshit involved that if you don't absolutely love the music part of it, then you're not gonna last long. So I mean, you have to really like appreciate it and love what you do, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that love for the music is what's gonna get you to keep going, and it's what separates you from people that give up when stuff gets rough or it doesn't work out right away. It's like you have to love it, or else there's no point in even trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? You either got to be 100% in it or you're not in it.
Yeah, I agree.
If there were any piece of the industry and the things that you do on a day-to-day basis that you could just like get rid of, like poof, it's just gone.
Hmm.
What do you think that would be? Tough question.
Damn.
I
Yeah, do you have
I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm thinking. Oh,
go ahead, Jake. You start.
trying to think like how I can word this correctly. Like I feel like clout is a good word.
Yeah.
Like you said, like letting the talent speak. Like there's so many artists out now that I think like are not talented and shouldn't be as big as they are, but they are. Like like I think we're in a very like memeable age
Yeah.
right now where like kids I'm only 19, so I see it and like I'm in like the realm of it. Like kids will just glaze like horrible artists and just be like, this is my goat, like, and it's like, dude, like they're not good, like it's a meme, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're in like a weird age of music where like it's not just like you're a good singer and it's like fire. Like there's like a meme aspect to it. Like I don't know how to like put it into words, but like it's got to be like
Yeah, I think overall it's just like the social media aspect. Like I feel like,
I
especially
would agree with you. I don't think it's fully social media. I think it's just like
it's not fully social media, but over like the past 5 years, like labels have seen it too. Like there's like a different aspect to music besides for just like music and who the artist is. It's kind of like knowing how to like work the internet, as far as like Jake's saying, like meme culture, and like there's just like there's like different niches and stuff where it's like in a point now where it's like it's not just the music or just the artist necessarily that's making things go. It's like learning how to like be super tapped into internet culture and what's hot at the moment. And it's like it's taken away from the actual art in a way, which I mean, I don't want to sit here and hate on it, because I mean times change. You either adapt with them or you don't.
Yeah,
But what I feel like what Jake's trying to say a little bit too, if I'm fully getting, is like there's a different aspect to the marketing, which is either like you're focused and like up to date on what the trends are and what's going on, and like
Yeah.
just meme culture and stuff. It's different, and it kind of sucks, but
it sucks, but it's like fire and like kind of not fire, like because like
Yeah.
I feel like it's more you can be seen easier, which is dope, but like also it's like maybe like the right people or like the wrong people are being seen, and like you get what I'm saying, like
Yeah. Totally. I mean, to me, just in general with social media now, I feel like a lot of what I see on like TikTok and Instagram, it's very much like people are making content not to make the content first. Like they're making the content with the end goal of like, I want this to blow up.
yeah,
So I feel like in a sense with music, it's like, do you lose the authenticity of like, am I creating just because I want this to like pop off on TikTok? Or am I creating it because I'm like really like I really see a vision behind this
yeah,
and what I'm doing?
yeah, yeah, I agree.
yeah. And I mean, nowadays too, it's like you kind of have to look at both. It's just how the game works,
Yeah.
like it's trying to find that, I guess, that perfect middle ground, because you don't want to sell out, but you also have to keep in mind, how am I going to market this and what audience and how is this going to work,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about, I want to know about the Grammy nomination because that's absolutely incredible. How did that go down? Like, start us from the very beginning. I believe it was best R&B
Yeah.
soundtrack, like album, correct?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we worked on Money
It worked.
Long's project. I hope I'm saying it right. Mooney Long, Money Long. But we worked on it with Tehran Thomas, the dude we're signed to. He's a very talented writer. And yeah, we were just in the room with him, just writing this song. And we might have known at the time who it was going for. I think it was like for her.
No,
Yeah,
we had no clue. We found out randomly.
yeah, maybe,
Like
yeah,
we knew we were making R&B, but like
yeah,
months later, we just found out, hey, this artist is picking up this song.
Mhm.
yeah. And it was sick. Like, I remember we found out and we were like, oh shit, like this shit just got real all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
No, you're good,
I'll
Mike.
go.
Go ahead.
It's so cool, but like it really like I'm so blessed and thankful, and it's like fire, and I'm proud of myself and my cousin and everyone that was a part of it. But like it really like didn't really like honestly change much, to be honest. Like it's super cool, but it's like I literally still have the same mindset where it's like, all right, cool, like Grammy nom fire, like what's next, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's really how I view it. But it is still like super sick, and we got to go to the Grammys, which was fucking sick. Are we allowed to curse on here?
Yeah, of course.
It was fucking
Uh,
sick.
No, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
No, yeah.
It was awesome.
I definitely agree with Jake. Like, because we made the song, we didn't know what the song was for. We ended up making the project, and then that was cool in itself. Just finding out that we made the project because that was that was one of our bigger placements at the time. And then as it got close to announcing Grammy noms, like a lot of people around us on the business side were like, she's probably gonna get nominated. Like, she's up and coming in R&B. She's already a huge writer. Like, she's probably gonna land a nomination. And then she did, and in that moment, it was sick. But I think Jake can agree on this too. By the time we got to the Grammys, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and anything. We're one like we're very new to the industry. We sat in the nosebleeds. We got to see where all the big people sat, which was at the bottom on the floor.
But
And
before we even say that, I gotta tell a funny story about before we went. So I was in LA at the time. The Grammys were in LA, and Jared flew down. Right, we got suits. We're like ready to go. We're like, yo, we're gonna win this thing. Like this shit's lit. And we didn't know that I guess in our category, they announced it beforehand, like online. So all of our boys in our group chat, we're like ready to go. We're like, we just called the Uber. We're about to go to the Grammys. This shit's lit. And we just get a text in the group chat. You guys lost the Grammy. And we found out beforehand, and
No.
we're like, oh my God. And it was sick.
yeah, that
Like we literally had to go to the Grammys, like already knowing that we didn't win the category. And we were just like, dude, like, so we were already going there.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, we really like didn't get it. But it was still cool. Like in the moment, I was like, fuck, we didn't get it. But we just have to look back and be like, dude, we're nominated for a fucking Grammy. Like that's so sick. Like there's
Yeah.
gonna be a
and
Grammys.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we were there in the nosebleeds, and we're like, dude, like, and like in my mind, I was like, we gotta just. We got to work harder, and we got to come back when we're on the floor seats. Like, it's just like the blessing and the curse about having the mindset that we have and being in the industry. It's like we're super like, what's next, what's next, what's next kind of people, which is good because from a business standpoint, you'll always keep going, you'll always keep working. But at the same time, it's like something like a Grammy nomination and going to your first Grammy Awards, which is something everyone in music dreams of at some point. It's like by the time you're actually there, it's like you're not really enjoying it, and then you find out you lose, and you're like, oh well, we have to make a better song and land a bigger project and come back next year so we can win. But it's like it's hard to realize, you're here. This is one of the moments you've dreamed of, and it's like you're already looking on, what's next, which is, the blessing and the curse of having that kind of mindset. So
it's the curse of never being content, which is also a blessing too.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if I like my like 14-year-old self looking back and being like, you're nominated for a Grammy and you're going to the Grammys, like I literally wouldn't believe myself. But in the moment, it's like surreal, but it's also just like we're not content. Like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, we got the nomination. We didn't win. All right, what's next? Like, time for next year. I remember telling Jared like we weren't like depressed there. We were like, shit, man. Like,
I
we
was
didn't
sick.
win.
I'm not gonna. I was sick. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it.
I remember telling Jared, I was like, dude, like, let's just take a step back and like look at where we're at, look at where we've gotten to from, like you said, like we started in the basement and like we took it to here. Like, dude, this is an accomplishment and we should be proud of ourselves and be blessed that we're even in this position and getting to do this for a living, which is like sick. So
Yeah.
yeah. It was sick. And it was cool to see fucking like Benson Boone like do a flip off the piano and shit. Like that
And the weekend came out. Like
Yeah.
it's like we saw all these like A-list household names that like you would pay like thousands of dollars in concert tickets, and they all came out on the same night. So that was definitely dope, getting to see all these big artists perform.
Yeah, it was
Did
sick.
you have any favorites of the night?
Well, we actually missed Benson Boone because we were in. I think we were in line for the bathroom or something.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
we wanted to take pictures in front of the backdrop for Instagram, and we fucking missed Benson Boone.
Oh.
Yeah,
But yeah, Benson Boone. I mean, I saw clips of it, and we kind of saw it from like
the
the
screen.
opening of the thing. But I really like Billie Eilish's performance was sick.
Yeah,
I love like Billie Eilish and Phineas because it really does remind me of like me and Jared. Like
Yeah.
they're like a team and their family, you know, and they do everything in house. Me and
they
Phineas.
started in the bedroom.
Yeah,
or
me and
us was a
Phineas,
basement, but
we work out of the same software on our computer.
Mhm.
Like, it's definitely like inspirational to like see how they came up and their family and they did it together and stuff. So that was really cool to watch them perform at the Grammys. And didn't Stevie Wonder perform too?
yeah,
That
they
was
they 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 had a tribute to. I don't want to misspeak, but a big icon had passed away, and they had a whole tribute. And yeah, Stevie Wonder came out. A couple other like legendary like musicians were playing with them and stuff like that. But it was definitely cool. It was just overall cool, and like there was a segment they did where the president of the Grammys came out and was talking about how the weekend spoke out a couple years later, like before, and was like how like the Grammys don't like judge fairly, or like they don't like they don't judge based off of what matters. Like he didn't think like people's real talent was showing or whatever, and like pretty much like it sounded like the president of the Grammys was like throwing shade at him. But he was like, "I'm glad we worked things out," and then he was like, "Now introducing the weekend," and like the
And here
curtains
he
open.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he came out, and that was the coolest shit because
Yeah.
like it was so unexpected. That was definitely like one of the highlights of the night was seeing him come out.
So I guess it's not recorded live. I guess it's pre-recorded.
No, they are like
I think it is.
yeah, it's live because in between commercial breaks, like they like rush all the artists to go sit back down at their tables. Yeah, it's filmed live. There might be like a couple seconds of a delay, but no, that's pretty much live.
I think they
Like
just
they,
announce some of the awards
yeah,
online
yeah,
before the actual
yeah.
show it,
yeah.
right?
Like not
Okay.
every category has a segment during the night. Like it comes on
Yeah, like they only
online and stuff
show
like that.
X amount of things, but there's a sync category, there's like a jazz category, there's
Mhm.
contemporary category. There's
Yeah.
like a lot of
Yeah,
different
they,
things they don't even show on TV,
Oh.
which is cool.
they had also cut a lot of them too because a lot of the Grammys this year was spreading awareness to the wildfires and stuff. So
Mhm.
they were more concerned with like raising the money and stuff. So they had to cut a lot of categories, which I mean it makes perfect sense. LA had just had terrible fires, so.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, so being young artists early in your careers, what challenges have you guys had to face so far? You could go like something that you guys experienced together or individually that you guys had to face, and then how did you do it?
Just like I would say maybe like traveling and like being away from like family and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because I kind of started like I think I did my deal like while I was still in high school, so I didn't even graduate yet. And
That's
I
so
went
crazy.
yeah, I went to school during COVID, so I was already all online and stuff like that. So it was definitely weird. Like I obviously like never went to college. I'm gonna say this live. If your parents want you to go to college, do it. But if you want to go for music, don't do it. It's a scam, and you will have more success being out in the real world. But if you want to be a doctor or stuff like that, you have to go to college.
They
But
go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that college, I just wanted to throw that in there, that you will learn way more doing it in the real world and making connections and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
And I
it was definitely weird just to finish up, like going into it like right still in high school, because I never really had like a college experience, and I was kind of like away from like my a lot of my friends and traveling a lot, so that was definitely hard, but it's always amazing that I get to do it with like literal like blood family, which makes it
Mm,
better. So
yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely think Jake's being a little modest because I mean we really had to make sure he was able to finish school
yeah.
on the road. So it was a lot of me helping him with his homework, eventually having other people to help him with his homework, stuff like that. But I mean, like I was lucky enough to get signed, at like 21, 20. So I had already had my high school experience, but like Jake didn't get to go to prom. And actually,
Oh
you went to a
no.
prom. You just didn't go to your own, right?
Yeah, I would go to like different girls' proms and shit.
Well, there we go.
Yeah,
But
Okay, so you
but
got to go to a prom.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I actually went to a couple proms, but yeah, it was
But
sick.
yeah, it was definitely like a procedure, like getting Jake to finish school. Because I mean, um, Jake's mom, like my aunt, like we call her momager, and she's like super tapped in with what we do, and especially when Jake
Yeah.
was younger and like when we first signed, like she would travel a lot with us because I mean her 16-year-old son is getting on flights with his, I mean, asshole at the time, like asshole immature cousin and some random manager that signed him. So she was
Yeah.
very hands on. And I know towards the end of Jake's schooling process, it was like, please just like we got to make sure he gets his stuff done. I just want him to graduate high school. So that
I
was something
I
like that was a big like target for a
I
while.
hated school. I just wanted to make music. Like I hated school.
That was kind of
Yeah.
going to be my next question is like you guys are still, I mean, we're all young, but you guys are a little bit younger than us, but like do you feel that there's, I mean, being Grammy nominated, like that's an insane thing to experience at like the age of 19. It's crazy. But like do you guys feel like there's stuff that you miss out on that's like quote unquote like normal stuff or
Yeah, I feel like that a lot. I feel like Jared did get to experience a lot of it, but like I feel like I definitely like it's more like I wish I could experience that stuff, but like I also like do acknowledge that I am like in a cool position that like
Mhm.
probably a lot of people would like want to be in. So I definitely am like grateful for that. But yeah, I definitely have moments where I see like all my friends in college, and and I still get to see them, but it's like it's very different. Like when you go back home
Hmm.
and it's like, yo, you still doing music? It's like, yeah, like it's just like weird like talking about it because like they obviously support me to the fullest, but like it's like hard for like other people to like understand like really like what we do when we're like, yeah, we do publishing, and they're like, you're a ghostwriter. It's like, yeah, I guess, but like, I mean, that's like normal, like
Yeah.
like a thing
That
that's like
that's
normal
definitely
in the industry.
like the biggest thing is people not understanding. I mean, yeah, definitely for me too. I mean, the one thing that you like at any age, I feel like you never like really get used to is like for me, like I have a big friend group of guys and back at home. And the one thing is that like like I'm constantly like missing my friends, and the longer you're away and like you're in your own world, like because there's so much going on in our day to day with what we do, and like we have so many like goals. It's like you know you're gone for a long time, and it's like you come back and like your friends don't forget about you. It's like, obviously like I miss my friends, but it's like you're so like out of sync with what's going on in the hometown and what your friends have been up to, and it's like for me, my friends being such a big part of my childhood and my high school, and I was around for a little bit of them when they first went to college, but you know it's weird like being away so long and seeing everyone like I don't want to make it sound this like in a weird way, but like the world moves on without you. It's like your friends do different things, and a lot of my friends are in long-term relationships and people are starting to get married and stuff like that. It's definitely one of the things where it's like damn, like sometimes I wish I could just go out and hang out with my friends like in the backyard on the weekends, but it's like
Mhm.
there's sacrifices you make to this stuff, and that's just kind of how it is. It's just same thing with family. It's like all of me and Jake's family still lives pretty much entirely in PA, and Jake's in LA. I'm in Atlanta. Like it's just like we're not like around for a lot of it. So it's like these things that we grew up being used to, like family holidays and birthdays. It's like it's not as much of a thing anymore because we're so busy doing what we do. It's like everyone's at home, so it's definitely a sacrifice. But I mean, it's for a bigger picture, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit like touching on Jared saying like about his friends getting married, and like I think it's a good time to announce on the podcast that Jared is going to be having a kid in a couple months.
That
I
that
was
is
gonna
not
say,
true.
I don't even know if this is dropping some news right now or.
He's lying. I'm actually not having a kid. I'm having triplets. So let's
Oh,
go,
wow.
baby. No,
Big
I'm just kidding.
congratulations to you, Jared. Yay.
But no, hopefully I love kids one day, but
Knock on wood.
no time soon
Wrap
because
it up, Jared. Wrap it
Now
up.
that you said it, it's going to be triplets.
Oh, no.
hey man, I would love to have triplets when the time is right. Not now. We're not ready for that shit yet.
Uncle Jake.
That's so many.
Uncle Jake.
That's so many kids.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
Damn.
we'll teach him to sing and dance, and then we'll just multiply the family, you know.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You're gonna have them doing like child labor, I guess, at this point.
I mean, I wasn't gonna bring up the ugly side of the industry, but I mean, I guess if we want to
Yeah.
get right to the point,
Dude, we gotta
yeah.
make like the Krumm version of like the Jackson 5. Like we'll do like our own,
Yeah.
we'll do a whole family, and we'll just have them like performers. Very
That was-
talented.
And
That was pretty
we'll milk
successful
those
for
kids
them.
for every single dollar.
Yes.
Every single dollar.
I think it's less frowned upon when it's like your own kids, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And until they grow up and they speak out, then it's like, damn,
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that, right?
They're like, we didn't want to do this music thing. This was your dream, Dad, like one of those vibes.
Yeah.
I'm just driving the Ferrari. I'm like, you're right. It was my dream, and it paid off.
And it paid off. It worked out.
I love that.
That's hilarious.
So how do you guys deal with burnout as artists? You said that it's a constant go, 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 grind, grind, kind of a nonstop situation. I'm sure you get burnt out from time to time. How do you guys keep going?
I mean, mental fatigue is definitely like a real thing, and I don't want to sound like a baby to people that do physical labor jobs and stuff like that, but like when you're mentally drained, it's like your mind controls everything in your body, so it's like
Yeah.
it's definitely a real thing. And when you're constantly trying to come up with ideas and do stuff and stay on top of content and this and that, it definitely is exhausting. We don't work 9 to 5s, so I think that's an important to touch on. It's like this is a 24/7 thing. It's like you don't ever really clock out of what this is, so it's important to take a break when you can. And it's a very go 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 thing, but it's just important to find time to work out or just relax. I mean, even like me, Jake, someone else I work with is my roommate. His name's Hooli. He's a producer.
Shout out to
Me,
Holy
him, and Jake will like literally like sometimes like shout out to Holy Beats, yeah. But there's sometimes where like if it's early enough, we're on different time zones, but we'll just hop on Fortnite and we'll just play Xbox. This is like
Yeah.
it's sometimes this stuff gets so draining. It's important to just try and take breaks when you can. And people like us, it's hard for us to stop because we're thinking about everything else going on in the industry. But it is important to get those breaks, especially when it comes to things like mental health and all that. It's like this is the industry where you will burn out very quickly if you don't take care of yourself. And sometimes don't work. Sometimes you have to take a break and step away and just relax.
Yeah. Speaking of Fortnite, do y'all play Fortnite or no?
I've never played.
I
It's
played
fun.
before. I played before. I haven't played in a while. I'm a big COD guy.
Okay.
Okay.
I just started playing BO6. It's pretty fun. But like you can't play as Ice Spice in BO6. You can play as Ice Spice in Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah. Who they had Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
they just added her to the game.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of that, that's one of my dreams. I want to have my own Fortnite skin. That would be so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine like Jakey Krumm Fortnite skin. Like that would be sick.
You can just run around and shoot people with your Ray Blaster as Jakey Krumm.
Yes, that would be awesome. That's definitely a goal of mine to have my own Fortnite skin.
Put it into the universe. Why not?
Right?
Yeah, I'll be content and feel like I made it when I have a skin in Fortnite.
I think that is what kept the game going for so many years. Because people were playing that game back in I want to say
It's like 2017.
yeah, 2017, 2018.
There's
And
a
the fact that
huge music tie to that too. Like
yeah,
Travis Scott had a whole concert
a whole
in
concert.
Fortnite, which is insane. Like
Really?
a
Yeah,
virtual concert in Fortnite. It's insane. And people attend,
Wild.
like he sold out a show in Fortnite. It's
yes.
wild to think about.
That's definitely a huge thing too. A lot of these labels are tapped in because when these artist skins and emotes and like dances and songs they're all stupid things the guys dancing to whatever, but it's like these labels are making millions of dollars off
No,
Yeah.
tapping into these games and
Yeah.
licensing the songs and the artists and like the brands and all that, and it's like it's been a huge lane because especially during COVID, because with COVID a lot of things were shut down. I mean, that's when they were doing a lot of the Fortnite virtual concerts, and
Yeah.
like a lot of these artists and the companies were making money through the game because no one could go out. So them selling the weekend skin or the Ice Spice skin, it's like I mean, that was their way of eating, at the time.
Yeah. For sure.
the oh, going back to your publishing deal, how does that work? Are you able to talk about like the details of the agreement at all?
Yeah. So to an extent, like, I mean, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but a publishing deal is like a record deal for a writer or a producer. So basically, you sign a contract for X amount of time slash X amount of money. So they give you an advance, whatever that is, and let's say you sign a 2-year contract. Pretty much, you move around, and they're supposed to put you in rooms depending on how good your situation is. But these companies put you in rooms with different writers and producers that they have access to as a company, and everything you land, as far as like, let's say me and Jake write or produce on a song for the weekend, um, they pay you in advance, which you keep, and then there's your royalties on the back end. So every time these songs are on radio or on television or get streamed or in commercials, like etc., you earn royalties from it. And since the company put out X amount of dollars for you at first, so you could clear everything off and do that, they take a percentage of your royalties. So, it's not as controlling as a record deal where they like say, oh, like, this song gets to come out or that song gets to come out or you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like
Mhm.
you pretty much have free range to work on whatever you want to, work with whoever you want. They just take a small, well, I mean, it could be different for somebody else, but they just take a
Mhm.
percentage of the royalties that you generate through songs you land. And then once you recoup that, you either re-sign with them, go to a different company, you go independent. It's just like it's pretty simple compared to what a record deal is and what a record deal involves. But yeah, you write songs when you land stuff. They just take a percentage of your earnings on it until you're out of the deal.
Yeah.
And then
But you got to be careful though too, because anything you make under the duration of their contract,
is
they own that shit forever. So read your contracts, because a lot of people will sign contracts they're unhappy with, and I forget who says this, but there's an expression: "There's no such thing as a bad contract, just a bad deal." People don't read their contracts; they sign the shit and then they're unhappy with it. But it's like it has everything in there. Just make sure you know what you're signing before you sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear it from your perspective of being associated with Sony, because we've spoken to a lot of artists that are going more the independent route,
Hmm.
and just speaking to it from that perspective of like, I feel good about being independent because I feel fully in control of my art.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it sucks that I don't have access to the resources that I would have through a
Yeah.
label.
Well, yeah.
I would say this. I think as far as if you want to look for a record deal, I think that's like for an artist, if you want to be an artist, like independent. That's what I preach.
Mhm.
Independent is the route to go, cuz nowadays all you really need, cool, you can build a social media following on your own. You don't need a
Mhm.
label's help for that. You can do that on your own. You can find people when you build connections, playlisting at Apple Music, Spotify, wherever. You can find those people because these major labels outsource for that regardless. It's not really coming from them. They just outsource to different people. But if you can find those people and build connections with those people on your own, as long as you have that playlisting, you know how to work social media, it's like you can really do it on your own. Like, and just make 100% of your money. I look at like Russ is a good example. he does distribution deals, which is something that's like super popular right now, where you just distribute through the company. They don't you have free range, do what you want. You just distribute through the company. Use them like DistroKid. It's just like it's just a more like serious DistroKid.
Mhm.
But I would say like as far as like an artist, if you want to do an artist, dude, like yeah, like record labels are not it anymore. You can just do it on your own.
Mhm.
But for publishing, I feel like it's good to have a publishing deal, because
Yeah, and like
like for example, Sony can put you in a room with this person, or like it's just you have studios to work out of. It's more like but if you want to be an artist, stay independent. That's what I preach.
yeah, like that's something to touch back on. Like you guys were talking about how like social media and stuff earlier has changed things. Like that's a conversation we had
Mhm.
earlier. Like a lot of these labels are starting to see that these record deals, these like regular terms that have been working for the past X amount of years, everything is shifting with how social media is. So that's why these
Yeah.
like Jake was saying, like these distribution companies are stepping up and they're offering new types of deals because these regular record deals that were working 5-10 years ago, they don't make sense anymore. You don't
Yeah.
need the label for the same things you did. A lot of these artists do 90% of the marketing by themselves. I mean, there is some perks to being with a label, but I mean, if you have a good enough inner team and you're doing enough work on your end marketing wise, there's stuff to be figured out.
Either way,
And yeah, I mean, like what Jake said too, like
if it's a publishing deal or a record deal, sorry, if it's a publishing deal or a record deal, either way, it's you do everything yourself. It's up to you at the end of the day. A lot
Mhm.
of people sign deals
yeah,
and they're
the,
like, "Oh, I'm good. They're gonna do everything for me. We're straight.
Yeah.
Let's get it cracking. What are you guys gonna do?" And it's like, nah. It's like you have to do it. Once they see you're
Yeah.
doing it and it's working, that you're doing,
then yeah,
and they're gonna hop in because they just want to attach on the stuff that works, which is that's how it's always been, but it's up to
Yeah.
you at the end of the day. And if you could just do it on your own, it's like do it on your own. Why do you need them to attach onto you as an artist when you're already doing it on your own? You don't need
Yeah.
help. Do it on your own.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, they do. I look at like for record deals like a bank, right? It's like they're gonna give you money to do those things, right? But I think if you work hard enough, you can make the money you need to make independently to fund what you have to do.
Yeah. That's completely.
yeah, and that's to touch back on what you said earlier, Usman. You said like how does like the numbers game affect you guys? It's like it is a numbers game, and if the labels don't see you putting up numbers, then they're not going to do shit for you. It's a business, so it's important to for any new artists or producers or writers, when you go and get close to signing your first deal, just go in with the mindset these companies don't do as much as you think they do for you. It's pretty much entirely up to you to make this stuff happen, and then the labels will step in, which is it's messed up, but they're running a business. They're not going to dump money into something that isn't generating profit. So it's important to come in with that mindset. I need to work exactly the same way that I'm working now, if not harder, because these labels aren't going to do it for you. And that's like one of the easiest misconceptions about signing a contract. Like these labels are not going to do it for you. Like you have to
Mhm.
be willing to do it yourself. And that's the thing too. Like, I definitely don't think a record deal makes sense. A publishing deal, like Jake said, it's a little bit different. Like they provide like connections and stuff, and at the same time, it's like it's not as strenuous and there's not as much strings attached as like a record deal. So I mean, it could be good if you sign a pub deal. You get in advance. It can keep you out of work for a couple years while you're trying to lock in, and then they can't ever shelf you. Like that's the thing with a pub deal. Like you can keep working for as long as you want. They can't tell you what can and cannot come out. Like that's gonna happen regardless with or without them. So by the time you recoup your deal, like it's nothing's different. Like you put in the work for it and you recouped it and you can do whatever you want. It's like they're not stopping you or affecting you. So by the time, you land the big song, you're gonna recoup the deal anyway. So like they don't really stop you from doing much. It's just important that you get good terms for it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't
I didn't know any of this background. So like you're giving us like
Yeah.
a business lesson today too on the music
Yeah,
industry.
there's definitely there's a lot of moving parts, and like me and Jake don't really know a whole lot. It's just you learn as you go. Like it's one of the
Yeah.
things where it's like
We
you
started
have to learn.
what publishing was. Like
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
we were just in the basement like making songs, and it's like people are like, you could like give these to other people, right? Like other people
I'm like
can
what?
like we're like what? We're like what? We're just two cousins making bangers.
Yeah.
We didn't know like
Yeah,
was even a thing. It's a crazy world that like not a lot of people know about. I remember when like the whole Lil Yachty and Drake thing, how like Yachty's like reference tracks got leaked. Like, oh, Yachty's ghostwriting for Drake. It's like that's like normal. Like I understand it's like a little different for rap because in like the hip hop industry, it's like if you look at someone else writing your music, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's got a ghostwriter. He's not writing his own shit. And it's like I get that because there's real MCs and real rappers who rap and
Mhm.
freestyle and write their own shit like poetry. But like, I mean, look at like for someone like Drake makes hits. Like I wouldn't even call just Drake a rapper. Like he's an artist who wants to make hit records, right? So it's like it's normal for him to be
The
like,
outsource.
Yachty, you got the swag, you got the sauce that all the new kids fuck with. Like, come write some shit for me, you know? And like, I don't think like we're just in a generation where kids on TikTok are gonna look at that and be like, nope, Drake doesn't write his own shit. Drake sucks. Drake sucks. Like, no, dude, it's like normal. Like, I'm sure
I feel
Yeah.
Baby Keem's probably writing half of Kendrick shit right now, and that's what I think is happening, right? Like it's normal. Like it's not. I don't like when people look at it as like a bad thing. Music is art. It's good to collaborate with people. Like you don't have to be so like, oh, I got to do it all myself. Like no, like
Mhm.
that. It's
Yeah.
it's normal. The same way
I mean,
pop, I feel like it could go for rap too. You know?
yeah. And like these big hit songs, you know, some of them go on to generate billions of dollars. It's like if you look at the credits on one of your favorite songs, I guarantee there's at least 8 to 9 people on there. Like
yeah.
these smash songs. I mean, you know, it's just how it works. I mean, people like that don't understand the game will look down on it, but it's like, I mean, I'm gonna reference Titanic because I fucking love Titanic, but like, you know, like you have Leonardo DiCaprio, the main star of the movie, and it made billions of dollars, but you got James Cameron directing it. You have a whole bunch of actors and set builders and
Yeah.
directors and co-producers. It's like there's a whole operation that goes into things. I mean, music's a little different as far as like what it takes to make a song, but I mean the concept is similar. You need multiple great minds to come together to make one of these big products. You know, it's not a
Damn,
one-man job a lot of the times.
that was a really good analogy.
Was.
Thanks,
It
dude.
was.
It
It was a
was.
good one. I think honestly it comes down to like the fact that people will judge what they don't get. So like to kind of the
hmm
earlier conversation we were having, like, the people that you went to high school with or whatever, like, are they fully going to understand what you're doing? Like, no, it's not like the traditional route to take. Like, how many other people are doing this
Yeah,
to
yeah.
this level, you know? So like when people don't understand how these deals work and how many people are involved in the process, I think they're like, oh, it shouldn't be that way. But like, they just don't know. They don't know about it and how it
Yeah.
actually works.
I actually love that you brought that up because this is a little bit of like a side topic, but for anyone listening that is newer and doing this stuff and is getting judged, it's like you're gonna get judged by everyone in your school, by your mom, your dad, like your mom, your friends' parents. Everyone's gonna judge and they're not gonna get it, and a lot of people are gonna doubt it. But it's like that's why it just comes to show you just have to like, if you love it, just do it because it comes with this shit regardless. And even when you find success, people are still gonna have questions no matter what. So I mean, whether you're getting shit on for trying to do music in high school and people are like, oh, like what the hell are you doing? You think you're gonna be famous, or you're at a little bit of a higher level where people are like, wait, so how do you make money off this song you just landed? It's like there's gonna be criticism and judgment at any level. That's why it's important just to just tunnel vision and just do what you think is right and lock in and do what you enjoy. You know.
Yeah. That's a really great segue. Usman's looking at me because he knows exactly what I'm going to say. So, really, really good inadvertent segue, Jared, to a question that we always love to ask on this podcast to everybody that we have on. So, it's like a two-part question. I'll ask both of you separately or collectively. But piece one to this question is, what is a piece of advice that you would give to somebody that is trying to do what you're doing and maybe try to follow in your footsteps? And on the flip side of that, what is something that maybe somebody told you that you would not give as advice? Like somebody told you and was like, this is good
That's
advice,
good.
follow this, but you were like, no, not.
You start, Jared. You start.
I think the easiest piece of advice for me to give, because there's no right or wrong way to go about this industry, like uh, it's just to keep working and constantly work every day and keep trying to get better and just ignore people because people aren't going to understand what you're trying to do. And I mean, chances are, because my best friends to this day were making jokes and making fun of me about it in ninth grade. It's like, no one's going to get it. Like, it's just important that you consistently keep working towards your goal and, block out what people say because, at the end of the day, like, if you just keep putting it into the universe and you keep working towards it, eventually something will come of it. There's no right or wrong way to get into it. It's just putting yourself out there and consistently working towards it.
Mhm.
Uh,
You want to?
just real quick, just right on my mind. You said the worst piece of advice you got. I forget who said this shit, but someone was like, like I think it was around the time when we first signed our deal or something like that. But someone was like, "Fuck it, man! Like, spend the money, like it's gonna come back tomorrow because, you need to experience things to the highest level. So spend the money because you have to live the life of these guys to understand what it's like. So just spend the money. I think they said spend the money. It's gonna come back. And I think that's the worst fucking advice you can get because a lot of people, will get these first deals and they'll blow the advance. And a lot of these guys, especially on the artistry side, when you sign a record deal, and it was from something that popped off when you were younger, and you get a big record deal. A lot of these guys will blow the fucking money, and then guess what? They don't have another record, and they don't get another deal and it's like that money you could have invested, because the record deals are pretty big. Record deals are usually, a couple $100K at least. A lot of these artists will just fucking blow through the cash and they'll never see it again because they don't have another hit. It's a little different for a publishing deal. If you're good at what you do and you stay consistent, you'll keep getting work. But don't listen to whoever's telling you to fucking spend that because it comes back. Because for a lot of people in this industry, it does not come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say the advice I would give someone else is like don't compare yourself to others because I used to have like problems with that. Like don't compare yourself to others in the industry because everyone does something different and it's like you do your own thing. Like don't compare yourself to others. Like it's only gonna like slow you down. And just to stay consistent and don't stop and start now if you haven't started. If you want to do it, just start now. Like nowadays there's nothing holding you back to where you can't do it. You can buy. I remember my first mic was like a fucking $20 mic from like Radio Shack when like Radio Shack was like a thing. I was like on the tail end of Radio Shack, but
Yeah.
I remember like I got like a Radio Shack mic. It's like anyone can do it. You can do it off your phone. BandLab. David or D4VD, he recorded his biggest song on BandLab and got a huge deal off of that. Like you can literally record it off your phone. So
Yeah.
start now. Don't compare yourself to others and stay consistent and try to do something productive in music or anything you want to do. Not even just music. I could say you could apply all of this advice to like anything you want to do in life. Don't compare yourself to others.
Just do it.
Whatever you want to do, start now and yeah, stay consistent. Don't stop. Do something productive in whatever art or whatever you want to do. Just do it every day.
Nice.
I don't know about the worst piece of advice. I don't know. Like
That always trips people up.
It does.
I'm like trying to think. Maybe what like Jared said. Like I'll just piggyback off of that. Like definitely save your money. I was grateful that like I have parents that like we're like, all right, we're taking this money, whatever, and we're just gonna put it away, and you're not gonna touch it. And I'm like, all right, sick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm grateful that like like that was like my case. But yeah, be smart with your money, and yeah, don't spend all your money.
Nice.
And I definitely want to touch back with what Jake said too about like the just start thing, because like a lot of people will be like, yeah, like I'm about to do this song or I'm about to start because like I'm trying to figure out a studio. Like if like something that comes to mind immediately when Jake said that, if you want to do something, you'll find a way to do it. Like it's as simple as that. If you're really interested and like this is your dream, like, you'll find a way to do it. Like how Jake said he had the $20 mic. I ripped out my closet, like took out like my little dresser, and I recorded my first couple songs on an Xbox 360 headset that
Turtle
you plug
Beach.
into a controller to talk. Turtle Beach, yeah. I recorded my first couple songs on an Xbox headset in my closet that I ripped out. I think I ripped like the doors off the tracks. It's like if you want to do this shit, you'll find a way to do it. And
Yeah.
anyone that says they want it but doesn't put that in, it's like you're already losing, and it's like you already don't have the mindset that you need to be in this industry. Like if you want it, you will find a way to do it. It's as simple as that.
Mhm.
Facts.
You heard that, Katie? It's not too late. We can still do it.
We can still do it.
I know.
All right,
Let's
perfect.
get
I
this
don't
through.
We
have
just
an
start producing.
Xbox, but we're gonna figure it out.
I can't.
And me and Jay can produce and write all your music, and you guys can pay us for it. All
That's perfect.
right.
Perfect.
Perfect. Sold. Perfect business negotiation here. Look at how easy it was.
Yeah.
Easy negotiations. Thanks, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on. We loved having you guys. It was a great conversation, and we
Of course.
love a shameless plug on this show. So I know, Jakey, you said you're about to start touring, so that's some exciting stuff.
Dude, I'm so fired up. Yeah, tap in. I don't know when the exact dates are, but me and AMAG, the GOAT, we're about to do some shows, and it's gonna be lit. And yeah, and thank you guys for having us on here, because we usually like don't do stuff like this, so it's like kind of like sick for us, like that people are even like asking us about this. 'Cause
Yeah,
we kind of just like stay to ourselves and just do what we do, but we
We
appreciate
had
you.
to tap in for Philly.
Yeah,
of course. Philly born and raised. No, we love
Yeah.
having you guys, and it's like a very interesting piece of the industry that we haven't learned
Thank
a
you
lot
for having
about.
us.
So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. And if you want to tell people where they can, follow you and everything that you have coming up.
Jared, you want to plug first?
So I'm on Instagram at Jared Krumm, JaredKrumm. I don't know what song I'll be putting out by then, but I mean, there's gonna be links in our bio, so you can find everything there. And most importantly, this is in either Jake's bio or my bio. Krumm Club, get your Krumm Club merch. All right,
Krumm
there's
Club.
T-shirts on the website. We offer multiple sizes and colorways. I'm sure by then we'll have more products out. Krumm Club. I don't think it's krummclub.com exactly, but everything will be in our Instagram links.
Yes. Krumm Club, Jakey Krumm on all plats, Instagram. Bunch of new music. About to do the shows with AMAG, the goat over there. Yeah, Krumm Club. We're about to start up the brand, keep going crazy with it. It's gonna be lit. And thank you guys. You guys asked amazing questions, and it was lit.
I love a good.
Yeah,
It
thank
was
you for
lit.
having us for sure.
Thank you. Absolutely. We loved it. And we'll have to get you guys back on for a round 2
Yeah.
of it after you finish all the touring and once you have that Grammy, because we know that that's coming now, just a matter of time.
Yeah. Listen, I'm hoping we can come back on in like a year or two and we're able to talk about way more stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Peace.